very, very good, and what an upset it would be if they can knock off the Dockers.
Umpires tonight, Margetts, Rosebery and Mollison underway. Friday night, warm night in Perth. Sandlands, as he normally does, to Fife, as he normally does. Kicks it down towards half forward. Rance coming across to cover. Ricochets off in towards the boundary, bearing down Pavlich. 2 stars. Boundary throw in right on the 50.
What a start for Fife, and it looked like Cochin. They lined up at one another in that centre square, but it was Fife that just read it beautifully off the hands.
69 hit-outs last week. Add 1 now. He's got the 70 over the 2. And that was absolutely perfect down the throat of Nat Fife. Favoured by this one, double-handed. Martin back towards Marriage. Fife again. Uses Sandilands this time. Hooley too quick. Now he slipped over just as he went to handball. As a result, it ends up with Subin trying to break the tackle. He does. Ballantyne in the pocket. Not beyond him from here. He squares it up. Centering location. Tabernar, the big fly. Walters. No high tackle from Batchelor. Fife from Pavlich had a bit too much on it. Cochin out towards Hunt.
Away he goes around the outer side. Towards left half forward, Morris, Sutcliffe, step for step. Morris did pretty well through the turn. Sutcliffe stayed with him. Well, interesting decision. Slung him. Heard the call. Hunt inside the forward 50. Vickery slipping over down there was Duffield. Hunt advantage anyway. Interesting matchup. Vickery's got the footy. About 30 metres out, almost directly in front.
Guys, I reckon it is Cochin and Fife. They're standing together now. I think that's going to be the matchup around the ground. It's what everyone wanted to see.
Oh, absolutely, Richo. Can't wait to see how that one unfolds. This would be a big win early for the Tigers. Ty Vickery kicking an early goal. Richmond got it in there quickly. That's what allowed him to get the front spot, read the drop of the ball. Now he just needs to go back and nail it.
First score of the game is a goal. Vickery, the first inside 50, and that's the result.
So a confidence booster for Ty Vickery, in for just his 3rd game of the year. Only his 2nd with Ben Griffiths also in the team. Generally it's been one or the other, but they've gone tall, 2-pronged. Tall towers up forward.
See Fife there. Cochin on the other side of him. But as Richo said, it looks like they're playing on one another. It's going to be a great duel all night.
Well, technically, they're not up.
It was interesting. And Marriage had his foot outside the centre circle, the larger of the 2 centre circles. That's not why it's being recalled. It was a bad bounce.
Matty Pavlich in this centre bounce too, so Freo just throwing a bit of a different look at the Tigers.
Marriage does well this time, but Mundy again, we talked about him pre-game, slips over as he kicks. Now a long one just outside the 50. Chaplin and Clark, they just watch the ball towards the line and over.
At the centre clearances, they're starting apart because they're backing their own judgment in there. It's not a hard tag, but you'll find they'll run around with one another outside of those centre bounces.
Wrestle again, Revolt got into the back of Sandlands. Cochin, there he is with Fife. He broke the tackle, broke both of them. Walters was the secondary one. Clancy Pearce on the wing, stands under it.
Looks inside the forward 50 then. Pumps one in to Tabernar, hands to it, couldn't hang on. Miles crumbed it, upended, jarred out of there. Grigg, Chaplin, close to the boundary line. Beautiful kick, under pressure. And Edwards so influential at the G last Saturday night. Sends one long towards the wing. Going back is Duffield from wrestling. And Revolt gets the free against McFarlane. Certainly a lot of contact. There's Jack then. Out his side. Tigers wearing an old WA uniform. A throwback as it goes down towards half forward. In front, Delidio could have been held. Head down. Barlow is taken high. He gets a free. It's across half back. Enterprising start by the Tigers.
So Barlow from inside the defensive 50. Five for the big fly. High fives all round. Handballs to Subin inside the 50. Pavlich caught behind Rance, and Rance the safety of the boundary line.
Oh, Baz, this is just an absolute pleasure to be here. Look at that. This bloke is a champion. He's brilliant on the deck, right in the midfield, but what a mark of the foot he is. Nat Fife, well done.
Given the man underneath him, we might say he got miles in the air.
Oh, please.
Ellis, who worked it out quickly, it ended up coming forward again. Pearce it was. It was a missed kick from the Tigers, and now inside 50. Floston over the footy on defensive 50, held up there.
Right now the Tigers matching them for intensity, using the ball okay. So Fremantle, we know what sort of pressure they can put on. The Tigers do have to match them. It's been a good start by the Tigers.
Miles taken down. Too high. It'll be a free kick to Miles, who was, as the Americans say, posterized by Fife just moments ago. You get on a poster, but not necessarily the way you want to do it. There's Edwards. Left half back. Nat Fife. Spectacular mark. Greg looks down towards half forward. They're being patient. Marriage. Cochin, is it? Just slipping across. No, the short one instead goes to Corey Ellis. Ellis towards the pocket. Griffiths. That was pinpoint accuracy all the way down the ground. Well done by the Tigers.
That's been Richmond's blueprint the last 3 weeks. They're prepared to be very patient with the football. Kick mark, kick mark. They're not playing on. They want to be patient and use it like this, and that was a good example of it, Dennis.
If that efficiency is at a high level, then they will be very competitive tonight. It's if that efficiency breaks down under the Fremantle pressure.
Only played once at Domain Stadium a couple of years ago, 2012. He's never kicked a goal here. He has now. Good start, Tigers. They've got the first two.
That was terrific use of the footy, bringing it up the ground. It started with Miles and that free kick across the defensive 50. And the end result, another tall man getting on the end of it. It wasn't a matter of his height, though. He got clear, as did the man on the wing, Corey Ellis, before it. They're finding space and they're looking good.
Well, Richo mentioned the way Richmond are just controlling the footy so much better over the last month, and they certainly did that well. Just then to get the ball in the hands of Ben Griffiths. Really good composure.
Right to the chest.
So free kick here for Marriage against Sandilands. A ruck infringement, short. Brandon Ellis with the football. This is his first disposal. No player on the field has had more than 2 disposals at the moment. Hunt now will become the first with 3. It's called to go from inside. It's a bit of a wobbly one. 3-on-1 Fremantle's way. It falls at the front to Lidio. He lines them up. He takes aim and he nails it. The first 3 for Richmond. Wow, what a start this is now. First 3 goals. Fremantle have been inside 50 4 times to Richmond's 3. 3 inside 50, 3 goals. Perfect start, Tigers. On a beautiful night for football in Perth, they lead it by 18 points.
Well, Duck, they're just being super predictable, aren't they, at the moment? They're using the kick and mark, but if that's not on, long to a pack and the Crummers nowhere to go.
Yeah, they were patient early, but that one was a long kick and they knew to be front and square. Sandilands had to mark that ball or spoil it a lot further.
Sandilands down, Pavlich into a dead end. Miles, Valentine picked the pocket of Marriage. Mundy inside the forward 50. Chaplin must get a free kick, nothing doing. Rance taken down. Lostone back to Chaplin. And now Hunt, the opposite back pocket. Brandon Ellis breaking hard is Grimes. Kick goes in his direction. Nice bounce. Hard against the line. Kicks it up towards the wing. Vickery in best position. Ibbotson up early. Vickery, 2 to beat on the ground. Does brilliantly. One of those 2 is Fife. Martin lays it off. Brandon Ellis had it moments ago in the back pocket. Greg. Martin ambitious, taken down. Ellis inside the forward 50. Cochin. Only one team has booted 3 goals in an opening term this season against Fremantle. It was Adelaide last week. There goes the kick down towards the pocket, off hands, lurking behind Ibbotson. Upended. He's going to get a free kick.
Well, they're a little shell-shocked at the moment, Sheridan short. And now Sutcliffe back to Pearce.
And they've done this well, Baz. They've trapped Fremantle deep in their defensive 50, defended it really well as the attacking stuff that they're doing so far.
They've only trailed at quarter time twice this season, Fremantle. Round 1 and last week, 4 points against Port last week, and Adelaide 3 points. It's Vickery's free kick. He goes short. Ballantyne filled the hole. Miles, Martin for the first 4 of the game. Richmond roaring in Perth. Oh boy, now a bit of a dust up as well. I'm not sure that we could say that Fremantle have been caught napping. The first hit out down to 5 suggested they were switched on, but since then, a 5th mark, and that's about it for Fremantle.
And back behind play, this was the scene.
Yeah, that's the frustration right there. Fremantle frustrated at the moment. Everything the Tigers are doing is turning to goal. Front and square, using the ball well, and Fremantle, well, that's the only thing they've won so far in the start of this quarter.
I didn't see this coming.
No.
Tigers by 24 points then. Neal had it a long time. Ballantyne could have been taken high. Hill goes inside the forward 50. Rance. First to fall was Pavlich. Tabner onto a loose ball. Goals beckon, and he steers it through. They certainly needed that one. Matt Tabner just finding his way in league football. He's a target on the forward line. They go to him, but he's got that agility on the ground that makes him dangerous. He'll develop into a very good player. And Fremantle get there first.
First score of the game, Dan.
Yep.
Almost 12 minutes gone.
Good contest between Pavlich and Rance. Pavlich just clever, made sure Rance came to ground with him, allowed Taberner to run onto the footy and set up Freo's first goal. Just clever experience from Pavlich there.
Subban brilliant to Hill. The kick not good, and Hooley left his man. The marks inside the square. They're playing really well, the Tigers. Terrific to see, going for 4 in a row. And Edwards, calming influence around the set of circles. Everyone pushes back. Cochin again the target. Well done, Sheridan. He came full on to meet it. Morris now. Handball for Griffiths. This for 5 goals for Richmond. 5 straight, if you don't mind.
Well, I said before the game, Lingy, one of the keys to the game was going to be the Tigers' efficiency. Right now, they're going at over 80%, and that's exactly what you have to do against Fremantle. You have to put pressure on them. Right now, it's scoreboard pressure. They cannot do a thing wrong.
And it is their ability, once the ball hits the deck inside their forward 50, to get onto those ground balls. Whereas we've seen in the first 9 rounds, Fremantle defenders swooping on the footy, cleaning it up and then running it out. Richmond are just all over them. Steve Morris played an important role there, just getting onto that loose ball. And they have got all the momentum. Brilliant play from the Tigers so far.
Last team to kick 5 goals in the opening term against Fremantle at Subi was Richmond. Round 5, 2013. That night, then Fremantle by a point.
Mundy out of the middle end, swings it wide. Batchelor leads in the race. Main bearing down. Batchelor walks it across the line. It'll be tossed in.
One thing that Richmond are doing well in the forward line at the moment, Riewoldt is getting McFarlane right up the ground, their best defender, and it's leaving Vickery and Griffiths with mismatches down in the forward 50.
Griffiths, he's got 2 goals. So, Big Ben striking on the forward line as the ball goes out towards the wing. He's now on the ball. This is Cochin, meantime. Draws a man. Corey Ellis. Back to his captain. Why not? Along the boundary line. This is classical football at the moment. They're ripping the Dockers to pieces. Riewoldt pushed as he kicked. Bounces inside the forward 50. McFarlane a fumble. Ibbotson kept it alive. Well done. Sutcliffe. Johnson with some poise. No one to kick to though. Richmond dominating this side of the ground. Griffiths. You can see the help he's got. goes in short, and Vickery again. They're running Fremantle ragged. Long way to go.
There is a long way to go, Dan, but even then, when Fremantle won the ball in their back 50, they had nowhere to go, and great pressure, just the wild kick outside the 50. Griffiths mopped it up, lowered his eyes beautifully to Ty Vickery. Just a really solid quality performance by the Tigers in this first quarter.
In Ross Lyon's time, Dan, Fremantle have never conceded 6 first-quarter goals at Domain Stadium.
Well, there's a time for everything. Halfway through the term. Vickery, kick is on the way. How's that? Gun barrel straight. He's got 2. It's a party down there. And again, the use of the football. Fremantle can't get close enough to apply their legendary pressure. They're being just outgunned.
Well, when he's on Big Tyrone, you see they're kicking right through the footy. Technically, he's very good. It's what goes on upstairs. Great start for him. 2 goals in the first quarter.
Kick 3 against Collingwood in round 7. Back in the team now, and he's got 2 already, and Miles not going far. Against the trend, we've talked about that. Fremantle have led 7 first quarters of their 9 games this season. Their average lead, 21 points at the long break. They're down by 30 points here. Clark, Fife, Hill, interesting. Below the knees against Miles was the call. So he breaks quickly. Pearce, well done, Floston. Got a hand in there now, paddling for the line. The boot will help.
You mentioned, Baz, that no Fremantle under Ross Lyon has conceded 6 goals in the first quarter. Richo's talking to Ross Lyon at quarter time. Can't wait to hear what he's got to say. He hasn't experienced anything like this before.
Marriage decisively. 5 steals it though. Intended for Miles. 5 hand passes inside the 50. Hooley. Strong tackle. Got him down. It was Walters. The umpire says held to it.
Vickery hurt behind Clay Dennett. An ankle. Looked like he rolled the ankle in that last contest, and now jogging gingerly towards the line.
He's been so important so far. That's how it happened. Meantime, back at the action. Cochin slips it away. McIntosh almost missed it. Revolt lost on. Now Hooley kicks inside the forward 50. Well, almost. There's nobody inside the forward 50. Sutcliffe slaps it back towards the middle. Martin can turn the defence around. Doesn't quite get onto it. It wanders down towards the pocket. Morris. Plenty of time, as you can see. Morris goes over the top. Greg, a left footer. He'll fancy his chances from here. Remarkable. 7 goals now, 7 straight, and they lead by 36. It is a long way back for a side that doesn't score that heavily, despite the fact they're on top of the table.
We've watched a lot of the Tigers over the last couple of years. I don't think I've seen them as clean as this. And this is against the side, Fremantle, who haven't lost a game, and we know that their pressure is as good as anyone's. They are just so clean. They can't miss a target at the moment.
They've been
everything going right for them.
They've been sensational. Richo, big news on the bench there by the looks of it.
Massive news in his 200th game. He's pretty shattered, Michael Johnson. That looks like a right hamstring. Crozier is into the game. Shattering news for Fremantle and Johnson.
Well, that is a big blow. We did see Ty Vickery limp off with the ankle. Tall for tall, but Michael Johnson's so important.
Sandilands down to 5. It's how the game started. It's what's happened since that has shocked everybody here at Domain Stadium. Taberner pushed under it. Hooley back to Floston. Here's Hooley again. Up the line. Clever use of it to Ellis. McIntosh running hard. Edwards now needs to be quick. He weaved in and out. And now Miles. Martin, good mark in front of Everton. He wanted to go straight away. You saw him slip. It didn't matter. They've got the numbers running forward, and Grimes marks. Now quickly Chaplin. It's like a tsunami coming forward in yellow. Morris worked his way in front, couldn't quite mark. And Pearce, important ball here. Slow to get the ball moving was Main after he got it from Walters. Ibbotson now back to Sutcliffe.
Corey Ellis, uncontested mark, right on the 50. He's a good kick, this fellow. Danawat's full forward. Oh, terrific. Deledio has taken the mark, 20 metres out. Directly in front, he'll line up at his second. Corey Ellis.
Well, that's why he was recruited. He's an elite kick, and you can see it there.
And that came about by Tiger pressure. They just hunted Fremantle.
Deledio then. Another one. Put it on the pile. .48 plays 6 at the main stadium. What a glorious Friday night. But the fans are silent. Well, not the Tiger fans. There's a few of those here tonight. They're making a bit of racket, but I think everybody else is nonplussed, including the neutrals.
Fair bit of conversation going on at the moment from the Freo players. They are rattled, and I've never seen them look so disorganised this year. Richmond have forced that through their great play, but they're not sure what they do now. They can't wait for quarter time.
Well, before tonight, Lingy, 38 points was the most they conceded in an opening half. That was against Geelong. Already here, 21 minutes into the opening term, they've conceded 48 points. Floston, that was a good mark, and then quickly to Edwards, and the pattern establishes itself quickly. All streaming that end. Well done though, Duffield. Cochin was coming at him. Needed to keep his eyes on the footy.
That's the first time they've missed a target for about 10 minutes, the Tigers.
Sheridan now out of side. Defensive 50, Barlow. Richo crowd a little stunned, and Michael Johnson sitting down hasn't helped them.
Yeah, it's very quiet down here. Absolutely stunned. I don't think anyone can believe this. I mean, you couldn't have written this in a fairy tale at the moment.
Walters. And pass knocked down. Hunt. Martin has been busy. Fife got a hand in there. Did well. Neal finds his way out of trouble. Mundy. Low. Ballantyne. Oh, gee, that kick did him no favours. Not sure Chaplin did much wrong, to be honest. It'll be interesting to watch the replay. How much courage did Ballantyne show there? Didn't even take a peek.
Good call though, Den. Great courage by Hayden Ballantyne. Chaplin committed to the spoil. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. You're entitled to try and spoil the ball.
In fact, was probably pretty kind. No raised knee.
No. And as you slow it down, it looks as though it's a little bit later, but in normal motion, there is absolutely nothing wrong with what Troy Chaplin did there.
But Ballantyne, that is remarkable stuff. So tiny, really, out there on the football field. So exposed and yet so brave. Not everyone likes him, but the fans love him for that kick. The courage and the kick. Well done, Hayden Ballantyne. They needed something. They needed some inspiration. And their littlest player perhaps has done that. They're a long way off the pace. They're down by 36.
And you called it, Dennis. You have a look there. Did not look once. Just went back, kept his eye on the footy. And that's a result. And that's the team lifter that Fremantle need.
So Hayden Ballantyne can that lift his team. 10 first-term goals. And we've still got nearly 6 minutes to play. What a start. We talked about the perfect conditions. Just great. And it's a shootout already. That
is the worry, though, for Damien Hardwick. Not the worry, they're very happy, but he wouldn't want to concede a couple of goals and just eat away at that lead a little bit late in this first quarter. They have been brilliant so far in this game, but don't want to let through one or two more, and Fremantle go into the quarter-time break with their game back on.
Their leaders have been brilliant. This is 8 now for Martin. Cochin's got 6. Well done. Hill leading Deledio to the ball. sensing the urgency and getting off his line quickly now. McFarlane, I don't think, marked that, and the contact with a handball, not ideal for Lachie Neale. Back to Hill. McFarlane, dangerous inside defensive 50. Duffield's kick, a good one. And Sheridan now on the outer wing.
Well read by Batchelor. Couldn't complete the mark, and it goes out of bounds. Richmond's biggest ever first quarter against Fremantle. The bottom line, though, is that Fremantle certainly have given themselves plenty of time to catch up. All night. Marriage, perhaps. Neale gets a free kick. One player who can lift them. Having a fine season. Plays on. They've had real trouble across half forward. Fife launches himself through his fingertips. Batchelor, lost arm. Now Chaplin. Rants off balance. Out against the boundary line. Hunt bounces it around the outer side. Stolen by Neale. Pumps it back in. And Barlow juggles the mark. Hand passes across towards Crozier. Crozier lines up. And the Dockers have found a little poise. That was the goal of a good side. Shrugged off what had gone before and did the right things. 30 points, not insurmountable. Next 4 minutes, very big in the context of this game.
So the sub into the game, immediate impact.
Well, you called it, Lingy. You said that they couldn't afford to kick any goals, have any goals kicked against them in this red time. And that's exactly what's happened.
It has, and it's disappointing because they've been so good. They've got an extra number behind the ball now, though Fremantle only playing with the 5 forwards. Maybe that's just to make sure they don't get any more late ones.
And still 4:20 to play, Lingy, which is interesting. Terrific tackle. Crozier, Cochin just got it away. It ends up with Grigg from Edwards, and that's a terrific mark. Morris in front.
And you know what's even better? Kick one the other way.
Well, 5-2 uncharacteristically. It was straight down his throat. So keen to get moving and just left that one behind at the stoppage. A slick movement.
Great core strength by Trent Cochin there to still get that handball away, even though he was tackled.
So we've had 11 straight goals to start us off on a Friday night. And as we said, still over 3 minutes to play. Our first blemish came from Martin's short one.
Took a while. Almost quarter time. Stephen Hill with a footy. Very short to the pocket. Main. Sheridan, you can see him the odd number up towards the wing, but Main decides to go elsewhere. Goes back to Hill. Short one. Camped underneath it, Sheridan then. Well played by Hunt initially and then Sheridan in turn, and the ball goes out of bounds. 31 points the difference. Counting down at quarter time. One of the most spectacular surprise quarters of the competition this season so far. Sandilands taps it down. Head down was Miles, and that ball wedged in there.
Umpire Mollison, up he goes straight away with the football. Miles again. Pearce. It was Daniel. He was pulled off the football. Martin with strength trying to get it out. He got his hands on it. He's had it a long time now. It's spilt forward Subin's way. Now Vickery. We've got a whistle, have we? Well, the Richmond players seem to stop. Miles claimed by Fife.
Straight to it. Thanks, Anthony.
Well, it was on. Umpire Mollison starts us all over again out towards Lachie Neale. Deledio, well done. He got there first. The ball close to the boundary line. Subin gathers. It was Corey Ellis that missed it for the Tigers. Now a bit of holding on there, no free. We have got a whistle.
Don't kick it. Thank you. Don't kick it.
And it's Fremantle's free kick.
No tackle, Baz, I think. Taberner struck across the head here. Taberner sends it long inside the forward 50. They need a mark. Grimes bumps it towards the boundary. Hunt put his head down. How will they call that? Right on the boundary line, holding the ball.
That's the interpretation, Dan. Taylor Hunt, you can see, ducked his head. No worries at all for me, that one being called holding the ball. That is prior opportunity. Players have got to stop doing that because it's dangerous. Good umpiring.
Great umpiring.
So the left footer is in the right pocket. He's got one. Steps around, kick is on the way. He's got one. Ball goes out of bounds on the full.
So, boys, you're both happy with that call?
Yeah, absolutely. Really well umpired.
And Hunt now gets another opportunity. Won't need to duck the head this time. That's what's in front of him, short. Miles has the footy. So 49 plays 18. Richmond by 31 points. A stunning opening term away from home by the Tigers. Hill flew high, ball forward and over. Stephen Hill's made a good start to this game. 6 disposals. He's been pushing back. Lachie Neale with half a dozen as well for Fremantle. Mr. Martin, 9 disposals for the Tigers, and Cochin has 7. Martin's little kick forward, only as far as Miles. Sandilands did well. Now Lachie Neale tried to free the arms. Sheridan taken forward. Main, good handball out to the sub. Crozier, they win it backwards. Duffield kicks forward. Walters, no free, didn't take the mark. Taken hard. Hunt. Walters, great recovery.
Oh.
He was taken high. He tried to beat a couple. It was a 50-50. In the end, the high contact stands.
Well, this is going to be an interesting one to look at. Is it the duck of the head? Oh, he's put the head down a little bit. Is that the dip of the shoulder one, duck, or the duck of the head?
I think there was
50-50.
I think there was a slight duck in that one. That one should have been let go, play on, and/or under the new interpretation, holding the ball.
So we've cleared up nothing.
Comments from our resident duck.
Yes.
So Michael Walters, how important will this be for Fremantle to get a 4th one in the opening term when Richmond have conceded 8 at the other end? Fremantle, Richmond have scored. It's offline. So 3-1, 8-1, and even 30 points with 15 seconds left on the first quarter clock.
Do you reckon Richo's a bit nervous about interviewing Ross Lyon at quarter time? Den might not be real happy with this quarter.
We're all looking forward to it, though. No, Richo.
There'll be a bit of steam coming out of his nose. I reckon Ross, he would be filthy with this first quarter.
We're about to find out.
Yeah, thanks, Dan.
There you go, Richo. That's your cue.
Wish me luck.
First quarter, amazing. 49 plays, 19. Richmond 8-1, Fremantle 3-1.
Then Ross just mincing his words there. Garbage. Good. That's just beautiful honesty there. It's great.
Doesn't sound too panicked though, does he?
Hall of Fame inductee Peter Bell, former skipper of the Dockers. He wouldn't be liking what he's seeing at the moment, but there's still plenty of time to come back.
We got him started at the Kangaroo.
North Melbourne, sorry.
Second term, the main stadium. Ballantyne taken high. Martin, strong tackle. Just slipping up. Ballantyne ran himself into a dead end. Clancy Pearce, though, peeling off half back. Searching kick inside the forward 50. Taberner tries to knock it back towards the square. Comes off the boot of Chaplin and runs out of bounds. Now, a couple of goals and suddenly it's very much game on, of course, if the Dockers can get them.
Richmond free kick here, Dan.
Oh, to Grimes. Away from the action behind what was the assembling pack, that boundary throw in. Here's Grimes.
So Grimes then kicks, not a good one, 2-on-1. Duffield was there. Now the handball not good for Pearce. Duffield in to help if he needs it. Pearce the recovery and then splits the pack. Well, he did with the body, but not with the handball. That should have been holding the ball.
Oh, should have been a shepherd.
Well, not clean by the Dockers, but an area where the Dockers have been very good. They averaged 27 marks in a quarter. In that first quarter, they only had 10. As Ross said, not getting their hands on it too much, but it's an area where they've been very good and they're struggling tonight.
Marlowe flicked it across towards Pearce. Daniel.
Duck, they're actually minus 37 contested against Adelaide last week, so they were a little bit off and still got the job done in Adelaide, but they need to pick that area up.
It's not sustainable, is it, Richo? You can't be losing those sorts of numbers and think you can keep winning.
Edwards, Deledio, Hunt down towards half forward, bouncing football. Morris comes to meet it. Did well. Revolt, 55 metres out, long kick, wayward kick, out of bounds on the full. Fremantle get the ball back.
So Ibbotson it is, gets the new one out of the bag. He's had a fine season. He wastes no time. Barlow, opposite side. Clancy Pierce now. Needed to be quick with the kick. Taberner breaks off his man, Grimes, and Marks. Got a couple of metres. It's slippery out there. We've seen a number of players slip over. Big fly. Brandon Ellis, terrific grab. Good hands. Floston on to Martin for disposal number 12. And Vickery. It's been a terrific target tonight. That ankle looks okay. Short, and Revolt Marks right on the 50.
Well, we saw Jack just a minute ago on his left foot. Kick from outside 50. Went out on the full, but I don't think the distance will be a concern for him.
So Revolt, just the 4 disposals tonight. He hasn't hit the scoreboard yet. Richmond's lead is 30 points. This for the first one of the second term.
Taking McFarlane out of his comfort zone very well tonight.
Just the steadier the Tigers would love. They'd absolutely love it, and it sails through. It's back to a 6-goal lead. It seems strange saying it, doesn't it? It's steadier when you're 5 goals in front, but there's no doubt Fremantle capable here, more than capable. They've got plenty of run and still plenty left in them. So Richmond to get the opening goal of the second term. Handy. 9-1-3-1.
Well, 4 teams have come to Perth and played Fremantle on this ground. Their average score has been 54. A fair bit of time remaining in this one. Fife. Oh, well taken. Great courage again. Eyes only for the footy. Barlow kicks inside the forward 50. Pavlich almost. Falls to Clark. A bit indecisive. Did well in the end. Barlow hooks it down towards the pocket. Rance was down there. And the ball ricochets through for a behind. It's a great duel. Pavlich.
What about this from Sandilands? There you go. Lace out. Nice roving there.
The take from Fife, as Dan said, outstanding. New Miles was coming at him. Kept his composure, kept the footy. So Marriage now. Inside defensive 50. Vickery is the target. Main flying. And the Shepherd, it's called against Vickery.
He's a little bit unlucky there. He did probably take his eye a little bit off the ball, you see there, but probably unlucky not to get a high free kick himself.
So as we know, Main's gone back. Richo getting that info right from the horse's mouth. Sutcliffe out wide for Ibbotson again. A look at how slippery it is underfoot. Been a perfect day in Perth, but obviously very dewy now. Subin close to the line. He looked like he wanted to take it out, and that's exactly what he did. That was interesting.
Yeah, you're right about it. It's getting colder down here, and there's a lot of dew starting to form on the ground. So as the game goes on, it's going to get a lot slipperier.
Marriage and Clark then. Clark reaches over the top. Fife jumps into that pack. Neal emerges with the footy. Puts down towards half forward. Needs to be precise. Taberner threw himself at it. Sliding in down there is McIntosh. Haven't called his name too often. Turns around. Tackled by Mundy. In goes Miles. Batchelor under pressure. Stolen by Mundy. Well played. Goes with the outside of the boot. Vickery sets himself. Could have been taken high. Ballantyne. Courage again. That was the hallmark. High ball. Sandilands. And Ballantyne is their inspiration. Hit that pack hard.
It was terrific, wasn't it? And I talk about ruckman every week, and this is the value of a good big ruckman that can go forward. He doesn't. It's a week-to-week proposition with Big Sandy. Some weeks he's really on with his marking, others not so on, but that was a terrific mark one-on-one.
Yeah, took the mark and then shed Chaplin. And steers it through. The Doggers ticking away.
Big Sandy. His third goal for the season. Doesn't kick a lot of them. He's actually a very good kick for a man so tall, and with all of the mechanics that need to take place with a man of that height, he kicks very well for goal. The marking has always been a question mark. His strength there, just terrific. So Fremantle get it back to 29 points.
The Richmond skipper has been very good tonight, leading his team, just taking a rest there. He's going to need to run this one out right to the end, because you know Freo won't give up. You feel like there's a big comeback coming.
Sandilands and Fife, what a combination they are becoming. Miles did well. Again, Fife not quite leaving the ball behind, but just struggling to get it in the hands. But it was beautiful service again from the big man. Up it comes again. Vickery, third man up. That was clever. Double fist into Revolt's direction. Now Grigg. They're on the break here. If it got to Edwards, it didn't quite pierce. Duffield. Fife. Swings it across to Barlow. On half back. Main the target. Main marks. Just backward of the wing.
High ball. Sandilands had a problem with the lights. That was enough to let Richmond punch it away. Barlow. Hooley got him. Ball up.
Clear lift in Freo's intensity here at ground level. The contested ball is up now, and you can just start to feel a bit of a momentum swing in this game.
Harwich, Sandilands. That was the answer.
I counted 4 ruckmen at that contest.
Yes, right. Do they have to say it's me? Vickery goes in short. Chaplin running down towards half forward, lowers the eyes. Brilliantly done. Morris, 45 metres out.
Dan, back one.
Yeah, good call, Dan. Chaplin could have blazed away. Fremantle would have got the numbers back. Just at the last second, checked his kick, lowered his eyes, as you said, hit up Steve Morris. That's the play that you've got to do against Fremantle. They get back really well to support. If you can be smart with your ball use, set shots at goal.
Margin was 30 at quarter time. Just to actually increase it. Not a good kick, but it's good enough. It wanders through. 61 plays 26. That was well worked. They're finding space in that forward line. That's been the story of the game tonight. Players getting out by themselves. When they can give a contest, Fremantle equipped themselves pretty well, but they've lost some tall timber. The man playing gang number 200. Michael Johnson is out of their team.
Stevie Morris stuck with one of the worst kicks from goal. That did not spin right.
Had a little bit of Stevie Kernahan about it from a long time ago.
Shocking kick, but he got the Morris major. Vickery, Sandilands. The ball came down his throat. Tough one now, Sheridan. Well done, Ballantyne. Off the ground. Oh, terrific grab, Grimes.
Courageous mark, wasn't it?
Oh, so courageous. He had to leave his man, duck back. Doesn't really know what's coming. He kicks out from McIntosh, the boy from Pinjarra. First time as a big league player back in his home state. Back to Rance. So Rance now driving it towards Deledio on the outer side, and that's not good. And Fremantle's pressure, probably for the first time in the game so far, getting a result.
Yeah, and I think he could have just, Rance then, just taken the easier option, used the short one. But Aaron Sandilands has given away a free kick here. This would annoy Ross Lyon, because this has just relieved that pressure that you said, Baz, they've been building. The ball gets moved all the way to the back of the centre square. Richmond get control of the footy again. That's a bad free kick to give away.
Very unlike Aaron Sandilands too.
Revolt comes out wide. Grimes with the spring from behind, helped on its way by McIntosh, inadvertently off the ground by Duffield, and the ball goes out of bounds. Boundary throw in just outside the 50. 61 plays 26. Fremantle winning the clearances. Sandilands, a large part of that in all respects, but it's been Richmond that found the football and done most with it. Cochin at the base of that pack. Fife to Mundy. Only as far as Lostone. Lostone looking across the ground, wanting to change the angle. Dangerous kick. Gets there in the nick of time. Grimes inside the centre circles. Bearing down was Walters. Grimes. High ball in front. Marriage. Almost the hand on the shoulder. Jumping in there, almost expecting the tackle was Duffield. It came eventually. And the ball wedged between he and Brandon Ellis.
Here we go.
So Aaron Sandilands sits down and has a rest. Griffiths against Taberner. It comes back to Griffiths. Quickly to Martin. Kick inside 50. Tough one for Cochin. Bounce wasn't kind. His attack on the football superb. Back to Martin again. Hard to kick a goal from there, and the pressure meant the ball was over the line, out of bounds on the full.
Thanks, Jack.
Yeah, that pressure just starting to build now. Fremantle making Richmond make mistakes in the first quarter. That long kick inside 50. Richmond had front and square players. Now Fremantle turning that ball into a 50-50. So their intensity is certainly lifted in this quarter.
Don't go forward, yeah, don't go forward.
So Dustin Martin with 14 disposals in the game so far, by far and away the game leader, and Miles with 11, the next best. Nobody from Fremantle in double figures. And the ball just drifting over the line. So Fremantle better.
Yep.
But Richmond, the opening goal of the term, they're right in it.
Richmond have been stopping all of that Fremantle uncontested possession so well. Even that kick then was just long to a contest, out of bounds. They are stopping all of these Fremantle marks really, really well.
Brandon Ellis on his knees. Hill. Long ball comes from Sheridan. Rance, and it bounced off his chest. Pavlich, a half chance. That's all it is, though. Rushed across the line by Batchelor. Good coverage again.
Just his second handball, Pav. Rance doing a very good job on him. Probably the perfect matchup, isn't he?
Yep.
Same physique, same height, same athleticism.
All Australian. He's a star, Rance. Close checking to the nth degree. Fife intended for Hill. Hurried kick goes close to the boundary line from Sheridan. Cochin. Well, he kept it in. Works to Fremantle's advantage. Taberner goes over the top. Ibbotson, the high ball. Down towards the attacking 50. Chaplin over the top. Couldn't mark it. Lostone taken high. Advantage paid. Hooley, Martin, and now Brandon Ellis.
So running they are through Deledio now. He's had a couple of bounces. Terrific chase, Ballantyne.
Wow.
That is holding the ball.
Hayden Ballantyne, brilliant play. Just kept chasing. Now he's trying to just get a little 50 maybe as well there. Suck him in, but brilliant play by Ballantyne.
First quarter, went back, took a courageous mark, and then that tackle.
Goes to Hill. Now Walters has a chance here. Five drifting in, and well done, Chaplin.
That's like,
Go, Richo.
did that save the goal, that tackle? He had the ground to run. They had numbers out forward. Unbelievable tackle.
Hooley now drives the ball towards the wing. The back. They've got numbers. Duffield got it across from McFarlane, and Clark is just starting to work his way into this game.
Sutcliffe just outside the defensive 50. There's Mundy. His seventh possession. Told to hurry up, Mundy. Just lobs it to Neal. 61 plays 26. Tigers on top. They've been irresistible so far tonight. Still a long way to go. Neal decides to play on. Sends a high ball towards half forward. Tigers have got the numbers. Chaplin got a fist on it. Fife brilliantly done. Knocked it down to his own advantage. Confronted by Cochin. Took him down right on the 50. Cochin wins a hard ball. Chaplin couldn't control it. Marriage knew where the help was. Got it to McIntosh to Morris. They're doing it right again. Grimes, the defensive side of the wing. Oh, clever kick. He pulls it back. Took a rest. But he found Jack Rebolt. Rebolt looks inside the forward 50. Martin's been a winner tonight, and he takes the mark.
What a terrific mark it was, Dan. 16 disposals now. Griffiths, the target. Looked like he was going to run into the umpire. Then he gathered the football on the bounce, bringing it around. Duffield right on the line.
about marking the ball. Didn't have anyone around him. Not sure why he tapped that one through, but
that's the perceived pressure that Richmond have been able to build.
Duffield messes it up, and Corey Ellis just drifting in front of Ibbotson, takes the mark, and Duffield hands on head.
Well, you said it. He could have marked it. I know he's still taking the kick from the same spot.
Well, his awareness just wasn't there, was it? Like you said, that perceived pressure. Just had to mark that ball, and well, you can make one mistake. Don't make two in a row so close together.
So Corey Ellis, the 18-year-old, fifth game of senior footy, he's kicked a couple of goals. And this to equal the biggest lead of the game and 42 points. Richmond 3 goals to 1 in this second term. It's been a terrific performance from them.
That's fantastic pressure from the kick out, but I tell you what, go back a minute or so. The tackle, Cochin on Fife.
Yep.
On the half-back flank, if Fife gets that ball, if he gets through Cochin and then able to use the footy, then that's a goal for Fremantle. As you see there, Jack Riewoldt just giving him a little bit, saying no awareness, didn't know what was going on, but I put that down to the tackle by their captain at the other end.
Good call, Duck. Great contest to win, and I don't mind seeing Grigg and Jack Riewoldt go and do that to Duffield. They weren't going over the top, they weren't carrying on about it, but nothing wrong with reminding the opposition player that they've made a little bit of a blue. That's really just good, strong byplay.
Sandilands decisively Monday. Hurried kick down towards half forward. Rance peels up the ground. Brandon Ellis attracts the football. Glostine, well, he was in two minds, took on the tackler. Bit lucky, Grimes taken high. Ballantyne clatters into him. Has a word. No need for that.
You've got to love the aggression of Hayden Ballantyne. That tackle was fierce, even though it was a bit high. He was tackling for keeps.
Carnivorous. Short one. Delidio across half back. Rance in the master so far back there. Hunt. It's been handy. Hooley just outside the defensive 50. Now, will they make their move and go aggressively? No, it's all about controlling the football and being precise. Here's Grigg. Well, that's a dangerous kick. Hunt's built the mark. Or rather, it's Ellis in there. I think Brandon Ellis. For a moment, he was very lucky.
He's done well to hold that one up. Could have been wide open for the Dockers.
So Subin was doing the ruck work then against Marriage, and as a result, the umpire, no hesitation in calling that a block, and fair enough.
Well, took his eyes off the footy. That's where he went wrong. As soon as you do that, the umpire will call it every time.
So Hunt, Chaplin, Hooley. The mark in front of Crozier, and wants to go quickly up the wing, and Rance.
Hey, Michael.
He's been terrific tonight, Matthew Pavlich. Struggling to get into the game, just the 2 disposals for him. He's called to go. Walters got very close to Rance. Hooley through the traffic. That was clever. Weaved through. And then drives the ball towards half forward. Big pack. Morris at the back waiting down McFarlane. Now Daniel Pearce. Short one for Ballantyne. The whistle came before the mark.
Straight to him.
Bit early.
It was the early whistle. The umpire's right there that by rights he should just call play on straight away. Down inside 50. Sandilands. He had 4 goes at it. Not quite. Comes out Grimes' way. And now Miles.
Miles towards the wing. Pitches wide of a couple of players and one other. The one other is McFarlane. The 2 arrive. Sutcliffe. Could he keep it in? Yes, he does. Gets around Morris. Kicks it back towards half forward. But it's a wayward kick. It's out of bounds on the full.
But the area where Richmond have got them is the marks, 50 marks to 21. They've been able to control the tempo of the game, and that's what's got them into this position at the moment.
So Grimes, Sandilands works in front. Marriage did pretty well, but couldn't account for the man last in the queue there, McFarlane. Having to do Trojan work back there. Johnson off the ground early, playing his 200th. Barlow marks the short pass. Inside trailing by 42. It's the big lead in the game. They got to 42 in that first term. avalanche of goals greeted the Dockers tonight on home soil. Everton spills it. Now revolts away. Knew where the help was and goes back. Edwards, Brandon Ellis, intent on drawing a man. Eventually they work it out. Little 1-2. Edwards to Brandon Ellis. Kicks inside the forward 50. Vickery. Oh, timely fist. Duffield gets one in there and thumps it out of bounds.
Well done, Jack Riewoldt, to put the spoil on and then backed it up to win the footy. But well done, Paul Duffield. He worked very, very hard to get back and save his team from another goal there. Two really good defensive efforts by opposition players.
Sandilands again down in front. Brilliant to Lockie Neal, who took it at full pace. The kick was affected by the tackle. Barlow just got it away to Crozier. Back to Neal again. Is that holding the ball? Greg Hooley rather got him. And that is a very good tackle. The pressure of Richmond. I mean, we all came here expecting Fremantle's pressure to be the hard one to break through, but it's been Richmond. Full credit to the Tigers. Kick now inside 50. Sandilands, that was a mark. Riewoldt gets it on the ground. Maybe a lucky one. He bends it around. They've kicked a dozen. Well, in these conditions, well, the conditions are fine, perfect day, but we've seen the greasiness around the ground. We've seen a few marks spilt because of the conditions. And, well, in my opinion, that was a mark for Aaron Sandilands. He controlled that and brought it down. And just because you're nearly 7 foot doesn't mean you have to hold it any longer than any other player on the ground.
Let's have a look at that mark from Sandilands. So he had a fair piece of it. Maybe came loose at the end, Duck. What do you reckon?
It's 50-50, isn't it? He had it for a while, but did come loose halfway down. But halfway down for him is a long way.
Taps it down again, does he? Yes, he does. Every time Subin comes away, well, virtually every time. But it hasn't harmed the Tigers, and Chaplin gets on the end of this kick coming in. And they build from the back. Deledio hasn't seen a lot of the footy tonight. 7 possessions for him. Here's Miles.
Slowing it down now, the Tigers realise only 4 minutes to go. They just don't need to give up a goal now before half-time.
Lack of confidence there. Robertson could have marked it, punches away.
Freo got issues inside forward 50. Only taken the 2 marks so far for the game. They just have not been able to find any space down there. Matthew Pavlich has been blanketed. They need to find a winner inside forward 50.
Wonderful performance so far by the Tigers. Fife, brilliantly done. Can he beat the tackle? Well, sort of. Spills across to Blostone. Taking a while, Miles. Blostone sustained his run. Goes down towards half forward. Griffiths comes up and takes the mark. He was valuable early. Kicked a couple of goals. Became a target. Sends a high ball. Close to the boundary line. Couple of Dockers up. Punched away by Everton. Morris. Still Morris. Dangerous time for the Dockers. Blostone again. Looking for a teammate. Will it get there in time? McIntosh through his hands. But pressure made him spill it. Now a hand pass on the bounce. Came across from Hunt. Cochin. Little 1-2 down in the pocket with McIntosh. Kick bounces back to a central situation. Pressure packed. Eventually Everton heads for the boundary, but it goes out of bounds on the full.
Pressure at the moment from Richmond. They have built it completely in this first half, and now the panic kicks, the drop marks. They have done what Freo have done to everyone else so far this season.
And they're on the move here again. Lingy. Rant's terrific kick, and Greg in a lot of space and drifts inside 50 to mark this. The lead is 48 points. This, he can kick this. We've got a lead Richmond's way in excess of 50 points inside the first halfway.
Yeah, it was a great kick by Rance because Greg actually wanted it outside 50. Rance said, no, I'm putting it there, you go and get it, and gives him an opportunity to have a shot at goal.
So Paul to go, he didn't think he had the distance in him, so he just pops it up. Sandilands, no try to mark this time, and then fisted over the line by Sheridan. So it's a 49-point lead.
He only half kicked that, and he left it short by about 10 metres. I think he had the distance in him.
McFarlane in the back pocket then. Again in the goal square moments ago. 2 Dockers flying together. McFarlane in front. Sandilands over the top. No real damage done. High ball. That's a very good mark by Taberner. quality opposition too. Rance was a step behind him. So Taberner, 75 plays, 26. Tigers on top. Just over 2 minutes to half-time on Friday Night Football. Taberner, one of their better players, goes down towards half-forward. Pavlich was grounded, thumped away from behind. Eventually the Dockers work it down towards right half-forward, but getting back is Grimes. All the time in the world, goes across to the opposite pocket. Grigg, he's a left-footer. Tracking him is Barlow. He aligns himself on that left foot and sends a long one beyond the wing. Everton, that's better, comes up and takes the mark.
On the chest, it bobbled, but he got it. Dropped the chest mark earlier in this term. Now not a great kick for Crows. Yeah, well, that was dangerous. Grigg got there quickly. The boot soccering the ball forward could have been real trouble, but over the line. So 49 points is Richmond's lead. We've got 1:27 to play. Sandilands galloping, got there, well done. Over to Lockie Neal. Inside now. Long kick down in the Pavlich direction from Sheridan. It went through his fingers to Pav. Hooley. Hunt. Walters closing the gap now. Fife's a chance here. Fife is a big chance. Is that the answer to any bets? Is that the goal of the year?
Well, that is a terrific goal. He summed it up very quickly, didn't he? Realised there was absolutely no one at the top of the square, but to make that decision as quick as he did, to go to check side, banana, depending on what state you're from, but that's an absolute beauty.
I love just a little use of the body on Troy Chaplin there. Got rid of him. This bloke can do it all. We saw him take the mark in the first quarter. He was never going to miss that.
So surely now, Lingy, we've been talking about this for weeks. He is easily the best player in the competition.
I'm going to concede that one, Duck. I'm just loving what I'm watching tonight. Richmond have been brilliant, but so's Nat Fife.
Well, he's got 9 possessions, needs more. He's got to win this. Marriage inside the last minute. It's a blocking free kick.
There's been a few of those blocking free kicks tonight to Richmond.
Lyon's the call. Ballantyne charges in. Morris has got it now. Goes out towards right half forward. In front is Revolt. Giving a contest. Clancy Pearce runs free at the back. Taken out there by Sheridan, to no one in particular. Edwards, who's been quiet. Stolen away by Pearce. That's Daniel. Gets a hand pass across, looking for a teammate in Crozier. Somehow it came back to him. Daniel Pearce. Charging in, though, is Morris. And the Tigers did pretty well from that exchange. Martin goes around with a bouncing ball towards the wing. Cleared a teammate. That was Revolt and goes across the line. A throw in, and we're down to the last 18 seconds of the term.
They need a clean one here, Freo. Nat Fife is inside 50. This will be their last chance to score.
Well, a remarkable night. Still only halfway done. McIntosh, straight up in the air. A sense of humour. They come from all directions. No one touched it in flight. Eventually, Marriage was struck by the footy. Well done by Edwards to Hooley. Slaps it out only as far as Neal. He's had a pretty impressive second term. Without much help, it's half-time on Friday Night Football.
We'll find out just how good this Fremantle side is, because they'll have to come from behind. It's a big way to come, but they'll just want to chip away at it. If they can get 2 or 3 goals back in this quarter, and that sets up a really big last quarter for them.
The strange thing is, Fremantle have actually dominated the clearances, 27-13, so they have got first use, but it just hasn't worked for them outside of that. But you wonder if Nat Fife gets going, if Mundy gets going. Mundy had a quiet first half by his lofty standards, only the 8 possessions. Fremantle, they could charge home.
Well, I did see Collingwood and North Melbourne last weekend, so anything's possible. Start the second half. Sandilands, Fife. That's how we started the game. And Fife this time had a couple of players waiting for him, Grigg and Martin. Martin was terrific in the first half, 17 possessions.
Come on.
Marriage, beaten by Sandilands, who thumps it towards Duffield. Cochin. Fife had it, then lost it. Gets it again. Gee, strong. So's Martin, got him down. Fife improvising on the ground dangerously. Grigg went and found it. Hooley, Martin, and now they spread. Here's Ellis going down towards half forward. McFarlane coming across on the angle. Charging up down there is Morris. Morris appeared to be taken high. Ball goes out of bounds. Boundary throw in.
High tackle, low shorts there.
We're just talking about the clearance dominance for Fremantle. Gold Coast and Carlton both in the top 4 this season for clearances. So maybe the old clearance stats is not as important as it once used to be.
Well, it's what you do with that next possession, not the one you get in close, but when you get on the outside and then obviously have to make a decision and use correct disposal.
Lockie Neal that got that ball moving forward to Subin, and now Ballantyne. He's been courageous tonight. Walters, one player who can live for Fremantle. Grimes has been terrific. Walters, a slow night by his standards, just the 4 disposals.
Well, we talk about Alex Rance. It's been their whole defence, hasn't it? They've been solid down there. They've given the Fremantle forwards absolutely nothing.
Played with great confidence. Griffiths over the top. Edwards has room for improvement. Marriage goes down towards half forward on the lead. Vickery. Vickery wheels around. Pretty open forward line. Long ball in. Cochin in front. Off hands Morris. He's been lively. Across the body. Fell short of the man in the pocket to Lidio. Now the Dockers under pressure. Clancy Pierce to Ibbotson in the opposite direction. Cochin threw it on the boot. And it goes out of bounds around from the behind post. Had more time than he knew.
Well, he might have missed the goal there, but for me, Richmond just found a little bit too much time and a little bit too much space.
Swooping on a loose ball inside their forward 50 again.
Just like the first quarter, front and square and plenty of time. Just weren't able to capitalise on that occasion.
Sutcliffe's long kick, it ends up with Edwards. Sandilands did really well. Gives it to Subin. Now he drives it back towards Grimes again. He's been with Walters every step of the way tonight. That was a really clever fist. Oh, Fife, he got there. He kept it alive. It went through Batchelor's legs. Fife kept going. Unbelievable football. Pavlich. Now Walters. No free. Wanted one. The crowd wanted one. Hooley gathers the ball. Kicks it towards half-back. Grigg gets another opportunity. Subin. They're coming hard now. Fremantle. Subin's got that in there. Needs to be careful. Ball comes out. Sheridan's handball. Back to Subin. Martin now and Edwards away.
Has a bounce inside the first 3 metres. Kicks it across the ground. McIntosh. Ball from Pinjarra. Ample time. Measures the kick. Goes down the line. Needs to stay in for the Tigers. It doesn't. Runs away from Griffiths. He makes his point.
Not sure if we've mentioned this yet tonight, but Nat Fife can play a little bit, can't he? Just so strong. Even gets the handball away. Oh, brilliant.
Sandilands and Marriage. Lock up again. Delidio, third man up. Didn't influence it much. Martin did, though. Thumped it across to Edwards. He's lifted in this term. And now Brandon Ellis runs to 50, lines up and kicks it. That's his first goal. And the spread again from the contest was just outstanding by the Tigers. They're doing Fremantle for speed. Fremantle can't run with them. Maybe they're not used to this. Maybe they just look slow. But it isn't working out for them tonight. Brandon Ellis finds so much of the footy.
What a star Brandon Ellis is slowly becoming. He is a terrific player. What's his favourite movie? Toy Story. Good to see he's young at heart. Yeah. Well, keeps kicking goals like that. He can watch whatever he likes.
Not quite toying with Fremantle, but it's a 49-point spread. Mundy stood up after slipping over, and then it's a good grab. Taverner gets it moving inside 50. Walters was caught behind. And Grigg. Batchelor rather read it well. Just holds up. Rance got it on the bounce. Floston. Walters again slipping over. Up the line. McIntosh marks.
He's at left half back. His side up by 49 points. Griffiths had it punched away. Fife. Easy get. Mundy towards the middle. Oh, only Sandilands could have marked that. Here's Daniel Pearce. Lowers the eyes on the lead. Pavlich over his head. Backing him up there and getting a hand pass away is Main. Subin. Nothing is missed. It's a dirty night for the Dockers so far.
Purple Haze in a purple daze at the moment. Ellis on the end of it. So Subin, bad miss. 48 points. If it have any hope, Duck, got to make the most of those opportunities.
They sure do. Got to nail those. 20 out. Not a lot of pressure on him, was there?
Need to kick that one. Good mark by Ty Vickery. If he's marked it.
He's been very good tonight, Ty.
2 goals, 10 disposals. He has been back in the team. Morris trying to burst his way through. They got him in front and behind. Walters and Sheridan. The umpire says up it'll come again.
Okay, let him up. Thanks, Steve. Steve.
Tossed up on the wing. Sandilands again tapped it down off the boots. I think of Vickery. Goes out of bounds on the full. A discussion.
Ready? Okay. It's off Richmond. Barlow, yep. Thank you.
Fremantle free. Barlow. They need every break they can get. Johnson off the ground. Hit his hamstring early. Game number 200. Barlow's high ball. Pavlich. One arm up. Marich. Chaplin. Well, it's on the deck now. Untidy hand pass. Neil goes with the outside of the boot and finds 55 metres from goal. Needs to move it quickly. Running back towards goal is Pavlich. Goes in that direction. Awkward situation for Batchelor. And the mark is... Oh! He dropped it! Well, I've watched him too often. I gave him that mark.
Well, he did all the hard stuff, didn't he? And you can see there, he just got a hand in.
Martin got it quickly. It went to Miles. Suddenly the ball at half forward. Morris, he sat on the shoulders of Pearce, couldn't bring the ball to ground. Still alive. Clark's got some work to do, maybe taken high.
Hasn't he been a spark plug though, Morris?
Yeah.
Straight up. Stevie, give him the ball. Come on back
Didn't
on.
even know he could do that.
Great leap.
Big leap.
Dan, you'd be familiar with this. There's a statue out the front of Fremantle Oval. John Jerovich. It looks a little like that, doesn't it? He had the shoulder covered with the knee. That was spectacular. Just couldn't quite bring it to ground. How close did Fremantle need to be, boys, at the last change?
The way they're playing at the moment, they are just a little bit rattled. And it might be a case of they're just that bit off. Richmond are well and truly on. They need to get moving. I reckon they need to be within 4 goals at quarter time, and that's still a long way off.
Brilliantly done by Koch, and he won the hard footy.
Now, Baz, you've got to remember the guy underneath too. Ray French was the fellow, circa, I think, 1959.
One thing that's hurt the Dockers is the loss of Johnson. Zach Clark's had to play permanently back. They've got no one to mark the ball inside 50. He's one person who could have been a target inside 50, but Johnson going down's hurt the structure.
Neil has really tried hard. Miles on top of him.
Poor old Ray French, then he got more than posterised, he got staturised.
Yes. Last longer, as you say. Ray, a fine player in his own right. History not always kind. Fife from Sandilands, smothered off the boot. Barlow outnumbered. Taken down was Pearce. Well, a high kick goes floating down towards half forward. Came from Fife. Getting across there is Edwards. Heard the voice, goes back to Grigg. They're doing it very much on their own terms. McIntosh, a high ball. Clark, no alternative, thumps it out of bounds.
Duck, is this a case of Fremantle just being off? Is it a case of Richmond being very good? Or should we start believing Richmond are genuine contenders now?
I think Richmond have been very, very, very good tonight, and I think Fremantle have been a little bit off, to be perfectly honest with you. I've seen a little bit of the Tigers this year. We're going to see a lot more, as the boys have already said, on Friday night footy, but if they play like this, I want to watch them.
Oh, Pavlich built another mark. And then Grimes pushed forward by Crozier. Lucky that wasn't a 50 given away. So clearly it's been greasy out there tonight, but there's been some marks dropped that you would have expected taken. McFarlane, Vickery worked his way to the front, and now Griffiths. Everything's gone their way tonight.
Oh.
Not that bounce. Almost.
If you had kicked that one, Baz, I would have said it is just one of those nights.
He's an emerging player, though, isn't he? Here's Clancy Pearce taking this mark. Griffiths started well. It's been handy throughout.
Not 15,
Pearce,
play on.
the umpire, Duffield, deals with the problem. Sutcliffe, now McFarlane. McFarlane, a high one towards the wing, in from the side. Taberner lurking at the back. Walters now, he's away, needs to be careful, played it well, the hand pass not good though. The man who hasn't touched the football too often, Walters, and that time it showed. And again, untidy hand pass, bounces it to Taberner. Taberner hard against the boundary line. All Tigers, and that was a terrific, confident mark going back by Hunt, and you could see Grimes having plenty to say as he came back.
That is the toughest mark to take in football. You don't know what's coming, and Hunt just went back, eyes always on the footy, did not flinch.
Terrific grab. 6 marks now for Hunt, 14 disposals. Corey Ellis up the line, and Revolt Ibbotson right there with him. So where can the spark come from Fremantle? Is there a move? Is there a positional change? Something they can do to get some run going?
Well, as Richo said, they have been hampered by the fact Johnson was subbed out so early, so they don't have that flexibility up their sleeve. Maybe take a Zach Clark off. I think it's just got to come from within the group. Maybe Pavlich is having a great contest by all players there. But quiet night up forward. Maybe throw Pav on ball for 5 or 6 minutes.
There's Hunt coming one way, Pavlich the other. Look at Hunt, just comes into the frame late, and then Rance went down heavily.
Well, Rance is beyond fearless, isn't he? I mean, they all were in that situation, but Rance, remarkable player.
Ellis eyes only for the ball, and then I think it was Rance's arm that got him. Pav stayed on his feet.
At least Ellis braced himself for contact. Rance was just trying to punch it away to the last breath. Ibbotson. Now the ball comes in beautifully from Hill, and Walters gets on the end of it. Hill rarely sided tonight as well.
It's been a rare side, a mark inside 50 for Fremantle. In actual fact, they're way down marks full stop, and I think there'll be a lot of sides have a look at this tonight and learn a few things on how to break this great Fremantle side down.
Michael Walters then. 15 goals for this season, and this one is away to the left. Well, it's not their night.
Back in. Thanks, Chris.
And the tension and the problem starting to show there, at least for a night. He's been pretty content all season long, Ross Lyon, but not liking this at all. Miles in trouble, and the ball goes out of bounds. Wanting a free kick is Neil. I don't think he'll get it.
But that must be one of the real frustrating things as a coach, because you write that one down as a Michael Walters goal every single day of the week. Even a couple of handballs 3 or 4 minutes ago that he missed. He's such a skillful player. You can't control whether or not they're just absolutely 100% on every single week. They've been brilliant all year. Just a couple of players that 5 or 10% off tonight, and Richmond have taken advantage of it.
So 9 in a row. It equalled the club record, of course, their last 9 in a row, the only 9 in a row in the club's history, coming back in 2006, the last 9 home and away games of that season. Richmond, of course, won the last 9 home and away games of last season. Under that man's direction, a slow start to this season, but they're heading for 4 in a row now. They played magnificently tonight. Neil, Edwards, tackling. Up it'll come again.
Sandilands is on the bench. Freo really going a lot of third man up around these clearances.
The heel to Neil. Just got away from the Revolt tackle. Pavlich on a big lead. Had to wait for it to bounce. Ballantyne tackled immediately by Batchelor. Now Rance lost his footing. Sheridan, ball forward. Ballantyne's ball bounces back McIntosh's way, and they are away, the Tigers. It was through the hands though that time of Corey Ellis. They're still on though through Martin, who soccers. He gets about 15 metres, and that'll do the Tigers nicely.
Well, in the end it was really clever by Martin, because if he bends over and picks it up, he gets run down by Hill. So just knew, gain a little bit of ground, get it out of bounds, let's start again.
Margin 47 points. Continues to edge out. Clark, fumble from Fife. Outnumbered 5. Cochin wrenches it away. Mundy's got him. Takes him down. Delidio off the deck inside the 50. Like a wicket keeper taken by Ibbotson. Duffield, Hill, running out of space and time. Goes with the outside of the boot. Chaplin, almost the mark through his fingertips. Glostone. Hanging on was Ballantyne, and the umpire will ball it up. Ballantyne has been terrific.
He hasn't stopped trying all night. A couple of big tackles in that first half. It's going to take more than just him to ignite this team, though. He needs a bit of help.
So as Richo said, Zach Clark getting the opportunity here to do a substantial amount of the ruck work. Monday,
Sandilands has just come on. Sorry, Baz, to interrupt you. Sandilands just came on and went straight forward.
So Sandy the tall target. Marriage threw him out of the way. So free kick Duffield. So we know he's got Sandilands to aim at. Rance and Sandilands. This is the duel. Sandilands almost down to Main. Now Crozier. Ballantyne was on. Which way does it bounce? It bounces Fremantle's way. Can this start something? Maybe the spark. Sandilands forward almost. Markey brought the ball to ground. Ballantyne was on, but the bouncing ball bounces through for Crozier. Still 41 points, but that gives Fremantle a flicker.
Well, Freo were able to open them up there. Michael Barlow, left of screen was an option, but they went to the big fella Sandilands. Like Richo said, he went forward. Hayden Ballantyne, again, another option over the top. So Freo had options everywhere there. Can that be the spark, Baz? That is the question. Another quick one here would be huge.
Clark got it to Mundy. Hill kicks it forward. Chopped off, though, by Blostone. Comes out wide. Hill sprints towards the boundary line, and football is nudged across with the ball virtually in his fingertips. Will have a boundary throw in. 41 points. It's 43 at half time. Making few inroads, at least for the present. Sandilands was a long way up the ground, and they needed to win that ball. He could be a liability so far up. If he doesn't mark it, Fife dragged down, took a while. Ellis to Hunt, stolen away by Walters. Spring in their step now. Pearce goes forward again. Turns Sandilands around. Chaplin's gone back on him. In the last contest, it was Rance. Rance slides in and hand passes out of bounds. Bit lucky there. Boundary throw in.
Really good call by you, Dennis, because Sandilands, if he doesn't mark it when it hits the ground, Richmond are going to have the advantage. He nearly ran that out. Good pressure in the end to just hold it in there by Pavlich.
So Sandilands there now to do the ruck work. He got under the footy that time and Marriage off the ground. There's a whistle.
Richmond kick. I reckon Fremantle, they need 2 more goals minimum here in this third quarter. 8.5 minutes to go. They need to get within about that 4 and a bit goal margin if they're a chance in that last quarter.
So the Deledio kick, he tried to keep it safe, I think, and go down the line, but was read well by McFarlane. Now Clancy Pearce, and they can attack if they wish. Sheridan is on. It was a dangerous kick. Good mark. McIntosh closing the gap. Now Mundy on at midfield. Down the line instead. And Barlow through the fingers. Well done, Grimes. He's been a terrific defender tonight. McIntosh just pushed out of it. Gathered now by Barlow. Ball towards the 50. Marriage. He did well. Controlled it. He worked it over. Hunt got it from Ellis, and then Batchelor over the line. So Fremantle, the pressure building, crowd lifting.
Well, we haven't seen that as often as we have over the first 9 weeks. That was Fremantle's pressure at its best right there. Just took space and ground off Richmond.
They're trying to lift.
And if they do lift, if they do kick that 1 or 2 more, that crowd's going to come into this. It can make a lot of noise here. The Purple Army.
Ball is out of bounds again. The crowd doing their best. The chant ringing around the main stadium, with a long way to go. They dug a deep hole for themselves. Martin crumbs it. High ball inside the centre square. Clancy Pearce got a fist on it. Morris, who's been, well, just so brave in tight situations. The body for the team, and again there, he draws the ball up.
The one thing Damien Hardwick said at half-time, he said, we know Fremantle are going to come at us and shut down our game with the marking. Richmond have only taken 9 marks this quarter, so they've been able to shut Richmond down, but they haven't been able to capitalise by scoring.
Cochin hurriedly towards half forward. Pearce slipping over down there. Ibbotson, and that helps him out. He gets a free kick. He was taken high. No fault of the tackler. Everton drives it down towards half-forward. That's a telling kick. Lurking at the back is Chaplin. Knocked forward by Sandilands. Hardly ideal. Clark was the rover. Neil slips a hand pass away. Daniel Pearce. Clancy Pearce sends it back inside the forward 50. Walters, too small. Although Grimes didn't impact the contest, and Hunt takes it out of bounds.
Is there a push, boys?
Well, he put a bit on it. He tried to milk it. Good umpiring. Didn't fall for it.
It's a marriage up in front. Important now. Martin didn't go anywhere. The kick. Subin at the bottom of the pack. Comes out Lockie Neal's way. Pavlich. Well done. Ellis, he kept the ball moving forward in Cochin's direction. And still it moves forward. Really well done. Ellis, Corey Ellis worked the ball across. Now Vickery. It was Revolt's kick that got it out there and over the line. They did really well there, the Tigers, under a lot of pressure. They kept the ball moving forward and they gained about 50 metres.
Jack Rewalt's only had the 10 possessions, kicked the 2 goals, but he's played a terrific game tonight. Been very clever when he's won the ball like that. He's made the right decisions. He's been able to get that ball just in front of Vickery so he could get the ball out of bounds.
Clark to Daniel Pearce. It ricochets back towards Clancy Pearce, and then Taberner, a high ball to midfield.
Get under that one. Delidio did. So did Daniel Pearce. Delidio thumped it towards the boundary. Clark to Fife. Lowers the eyes, demanding something of Pavlich. Bounces off his chest. Cochin got the crumb. Hand passes back over the shoulder. Pavlich slips a hand pass away to Clark. Clark goes along the line. Operating in a phone box over there was Fife. Ball comes towards the boundary from Marriage. Paddling it around that boundary is McIntosh. That was a confined space. And a boundary throw in.
So a breather for everyone. 5.5 minutes remaining in this third term. Need another couple, you think, Fremantle, before the end of this quarter to really give it a shake in the last term. Neal got the clean possession off to Sutcliffe. Down the line, Walters! High for a long time. Never really controlled it. Still dangerous, though, in this situation. Trying to lift himself. Rance through the hands of Ellis. Back to Rance. Sandilands, good tackle. Now a tough one to win. Did Chaplin duck the head? Coming at the tackler. Umpire said OK. Brandon Ellis off the ground. Miles around 5. Neal, was it touched? It was by a pair of Dockers. Ibbotson taken by Revolt, and up it will come. No high contact. Fremantle's free. Have a look at this.
Heck of a leap.
We were talking about freaky shacks on the countdown tonight. That would have been one of them if he'd held on to that.
Wow.
Everton with the football, told to play on. His kick just outside the 50. Pavlich was up in front, knocked away by Rance from behind. We'll have a ball up. So just at the moment, it feels like a prize fighter fighting on instinct. Fremantle are trying. They're trying to lift themselves, but just at the moment, everything is being stymied, although Fife gets it from Sandilands, sends a long, dangerous ball. Grimes has been a master down there. High draft pick, and tonight he's showing why.
Best game he's played. Best game that I've watched, certainly, from Richmond. Grimes, he has been outstanding.
Ellis to Martin. Disposal number 23 for Dustin Martin. It's a clever kick, but there are numbers back for Fremantle. Duffield did it well. Back to Taberner. The young man. Confronted by Griffiths. Goes back inside defensive 50 and Clancy Pearce. That's a very good kick. And Matthew Pavlich, his first mark at Domain Stadium in the last 2 weeks. Sandilands now. He keeps going. The man on is 5 and 5 marks inside 50. Tough angle, but as we know, nothing is too tough for this man.
Has Matthew Pavlich ever been given the Bronx cheese before on this ground?
Amazing, isn't it?
He plays on quickly. Walters is paid the mark.
Supporter amnesia. What have you done for us lately? Ignore the first 3:20.
So that was his first mark for the night. Walters plays on, and Pav hadn't taken a mark the previous week against North Melbourne. Walters kicks it. Here they come, Fremantle.
Talked about them playing on instinct. Well, their instincts are pretty good. Don't worry about that. They won 9 straight. Grand final 2 seasons ago. Can they do it from here? The odds are still against them. Margin is back to 35 points. They've only improved their halftime situation by 8.
Michael Walters has been quiet tonight. A couple of mistakes earlier, but he has lifted. He's gone hunting in the last 5 minutes. His pressure has been huge, flying for marks. That will lift his confidence too. A great goal.
Sandilands knocks it down. Fife bullocking. Edwards steals the football, kicks it out wide. It runs towards the boundary. After it, Morris, and it trickles out of bounds. And probably the first blemish for Grimes moments ago. Didn't work the mark though.
No, just allowed him to run around. Fife has played a really good game tonight. I don't know how many balls he's had smothered, but it's been a lot. He's won in tight, but Richmond have been able to smother him.
He's up to 20 possessions. All behind the pack, Marriage. Ellis, that's Corey Ellis inside the forward 50. Taberner misses it. Martin, strong man Martin, missed the football, however. Taberner does well. Came back, won a hard one. Kicks it out towards the boundary. And Morris. There you go. A little bit of art. Mime will have a boundary throw in.
Last 2 goals of the game, Fremantle's way. You just feel, don't you, that it's interesting now. The next one makes it very interesting.
They need one more. I reckon Freo need one more.
2.5 minutes to do it. Neil got it from Sandilands. Was well done by Miles. He controlled the football. Got it across to his teammate who was at the bottom of that pack, Edwards.
Hey, Floppy. Come out here.
It's still a big ask, even if they do get that one more. It'll be 29 points, but I reckon the crowd gets very involved then.
Sandilands to 5. It gets a huge cheer. How many times have we seen that combination tonight? Main. Here's Crozier drifting past. Walters, who kicked the last one. Now he can go. He's got men square. He squares it up to Barlow. And Barlow marks 15 metres out, directly in front. This for 3 in a row for the Dockers.
Aaron Sandilands, such an influence. That is superb ruck work. To who else but Nat Fife? Michael Walters has lifted. Clever kick this. Didn't blaze away. Saw Michael Barlow. Gee, this is huge, this kick.
So Michael Barlow, the match sealer last week against the Adelaide Crows, hasn't kicked a goal tonight. The boy from Shepparton out of the fruit bowl to make it less than 30 points. He kicks it. Game on at Domain. The last 3 goals of the game, Fremantle's way. It was 43 points at half-time. It got out to 49 points. They've cut it in half from there. Cut 20 points off it. 29 points with 1 minute and 26 remaining in this 3rd quarter. Fremantle now will be thinking one more.
Well, there you can see Dusty Martin. He's had a good game tonight. Dustin Martin, Trent Cotchin, these are the guys now. There's only 1.5 minutes to go. They can't allow another goal through. Just have to get their hands on the footy and slow it up.
Mundy goes after it. Again, room service came from Sandilands. Sutcliffe. Neil out wide. Subban trying to get it to his own advantage. Running out of space. Ball close to the boundary line. It's gone across. No, it's holding the ball. Hurt the whistle. It'll be a free kick. And it'll be taken by Brandon Ellis. So shades of North Melbourne here. Potentially one of your greatest nights can become one of your worst nights. Richmond being tested. Ball goes along the boundary line. McFarlane reaches over the top, thucks it towards the boundary, and that will do. Clock stops at 56 seconds. This has been something by Fremantle.
Trying to get Fife on. There's only 56 seconds to go, and he's trying to get onto this stoppage. They couldn't get it.
Sandilands thumps it down. Ellis. Hand pass from Deledio. Gave it across to a teammate in Rance. Deledio with the outside of the boot, then bounces one out of bounds, and again the clock is frozen. This time at 42 seconds. Fife.
They get him on now, though. Lachie Neale came off. Watch for him on the move at this stoppage.
So Nat Fife is there. It's a shallow throw. Might play into Fremantle's hands. He didn't quite get that far, but it does now. From Sutcliffe, his housemate.
Big
Fife
tackle.
holding
Big
the ball. Greg, brilliant when it counted. It worked out perfectly for Fremantle, but Fife couldn't get away. Now Vickery, hands up in front, not quite. Sutcliffe, Sheridan, Pearce, Main, 18 seconds left on the clock. Hill, can they run it to the other end or will they play the possession game? They're running now. Main's got it from Hill, back to Hill. Time might beat them though. Kick to midfield and Ballantyne. Player drifting by was Hill. It would need a mark. It won't happen. Crozier on the bell, just pushing off. 3-3 to 1-1 in that term.
It's just going to be a lockdown game till the end.
Fair to say, three-quarter time came at a good time for the Tigers. They lead by 29. The Dockers, no margin for error. Underway in the final term. Friday night football, Sandilands to Fife. Happened a few times tonight. Neil, high up and under. Going back, eyes only for the football. Braden Ellis. Rather Brandon Ellis. Short. Finds Edwards. Only a step in from the boundary. Short one. Martin. What the Tigers wouldn't get for the first goal. Martin, a wonderful night tonight. Looking hard. Always at the contest. Particularly early. Helps set the tone. Deledio over the top punches the ball out of bounds.
Quite right, Dan Martin, terrific. 24 disposals tonight, and Brandon Ellis, both of them involved in this opening minute of play. Ellis, 22 disposals, and both of them, importantly, have kicked goals for their team. Midfielders kicking goals, so important. Marriage did well, probably got his hands on that. That was thrown out by Mundy and spotted by the umpire. Good call. Not David Mundy's best night. 12 disposals. He's tried hard. So Deledio. Subin did really well. Taberner has enjoyed his run in defence. Now Fife from the wing over the pad. He could kick it from here. He puts it into the path of Walters. Can they bounce this one through? Just too much on it in the end from the pad. I think it was the right idea. He was, I think, for all intents and purposes, going for a bet each way, thinking, well, if I can get it on target, probably Michael Walters gets there if it's not quite got the carry.
Spot on, spot on. Probably had to just take a little bit more off it, didn't he?
Lost time. Let off for the Tigers right there. Sandilands in front. Couldn't control it. It's out of bounds.
Richo, Michael Johnson subbed off for Freo early. The Tigers have still got their sub up their sleeve. Connor Menadue. He's a running machine, isn't he? So he'll be able to add a lot.
Yeah, that's his strength. He's obviously very lightly built at his age, 18 years of age, but a great runner. Could be important. I think Richmond will take one of the big forwards out of the game, Griffiths or Vickery.
Miles, Edwards, dancing his way through the congestion. Well done by Ellis. Brilliant. Cochin's away, has a bounce. Runs the wing, kicks it down towards half forward. Revolt, running with the flight of the ball, marks at the 50. And this is the closest the Dockers have been since the 15-minute mark of the first term. Working the mark hard was Ibbotson, smothers the kick, and the ball goes out of bounds. There's plenty of fight in the Dockers.
We see a red vest down there now, Richo, from the Tigers.
Yeah, Corey Ellis has been taken out, so that's why I'm not in the coach's box.
Right on cue, perfect.
So Ellis out, Menadue in, 5. Pavlich, the skipper lifting, but that's not his best effort. It's out of bounds on the full. Richmond by 28 points. The Dockers have kicked the last 3 goals of the game, but no goals either side in this final term. Rance back to Chaplin. For the time being, just prepared to take a little sting out of it. That's a clever kick. Edwards not quite. Neil did well to come back. Edwards did better, kept going, and the chip kick had too much on it for Grigg. Clever push. Marriage to Cochin. Is that a grab? Griffiths. Brilliant play, Richmond. Fantastic footy to keep the ball alive.
Well done, Trent Cochin. His start to this last quarter has been huge, and we often talk about their leadership. Just really clever.
Got to pump up the ruckman too, Duck. Big Ivan, just a nice little tap there, just to advantage.
Nah.
So Griffiths with 2 tonight. Oh dear, offline. Kicking at his third. It's a bad miss.
Sorry, Basil, you need to do more than that, Leggy. Come on.
Duck, is there a cut-off point for height?
Is there a cut-off point?
You suddenly love a bloke. Ball on the outer side. Off hands. Crozier. Dockers on the move. Pavlich. Subban. Crozier. He's kicked a couple. He started as the sub. Kicks inside the forward 50. Batchelor. He's had a couple of very important moments, Batchelor. Spoilt Pavlich earlier when all seemed lost. But that's deliberate. Ellis thumps it out of bounds. And it's a Docker ball. Wasting no time. Kick comes in from May towards the kick-off line. Ballantyne hit the pack hard. Fife battles, picked up by Miles. Can he get away? Well, the tackle went low, and I think it will be legging against Miles. He'll get the free kick. Ballantyne's desperation. Still terrific to see. Locks the ball in for the short term at least. And the kick will be taken by Miles.
Well, called then, brilliant tackle by Main, but it just drifted low at the crucial point. Unlucky Fremantle. They're coming. Sandilands a couple of times there, then wins the footy. Lost it at his ankles, got it again. Barlow. Good smother by Revolt. Falls Martin's way. Disposal number 25. Tough ball this one. Taberner interesting. Griffiths kept his feet. A clever little tap out again, but not the result this time. Ibbotson to midfield. Mundy overran it. Gets it from Barlow. Back to Mundy. Now Ballantyne running for 4 in a row for Fremantle. For the last 4 of the game, not quite.
Just a bit of a slide there by Fife. Got to be very careful.
That's the one. If Ellis was on his feet there, that's the one that can take out the legs. But the fact they're both on the ground, nothing wrong with it.
Lostone kicks in. Sandlands reduced to spoiling, but did well. Hurried kick, floats down towards the pocket, and Pavlich. Pavlich just the one behind. Had a really dirty night. But off on the way, the hurried kick. Hill. His wrong boot. The unexpected sometimes works. They've kicked the last 3 goals, the Dockers. All will be forgiven, I think, if he can kick this. They're edging closer. They're working hard. They've been highly commendable since half-time. Matthew Pavlich. He's done it many times before. And he's kicked it behind this time. Looked good for a long while. 56 plays 83.
Last 10 scores this term, all behinds. 3-1 Fremantle's way. Hooley to himself. Ballantyne, good shepherd from Rance. And Hooley drives the ball towards half-back. Sandilands is lifted. Played a big second half. Trying to get his hands on the football first to bring it to the feet of his little men. He's done well. 27 points. Is it enough for Richmond yet?
Oh, a little bit nervous.
I'm too scared to say it. Not while this bloke's around.
Oh, there they are again. What a double act they are becoming. Sandilands to 5. It's alive inside 50. Walters went to ground. How does the umpire see it? He says too high.
The umpire from the middle, Baz, has called that. The out-of-area umpire had a better view. Gee, this will be big to look at. Michael Walters. Well, certainly high, over the shoulder.
As you said, Cameron, the umpire in midfield called it. Well, biggest kick of the night right here. 27 points is the lead for the Richmond Football Club. Michael Walters, 4 in a row now for the Dockers, and it's a 21-point ball game. That's his second. Had a very quiet first half, just the 4 disposals. He's lifted since the long break, 11 disposals now. 2 goals to Richmond's lead. 21 points. And the crowd, like their team out in the middle, really lifting.
Well, there's the man, the clearances. Look at the hit-outs to advantage. It's starting to really take effect in this game now. It's a shutdown game. There's no easy ball, and these clearances are vital. If Richmond are to win this game, they have to turn that around a little bit.
Tigers by 21 points. Marriage on the way down. Martin took a swing at it. Rolls out of the centre circles. Fife and Martin. That's a contest.
That is a huge discrepancy, what Richo just pointed out. 30-3 in hit-outs to advantage.
Pretty much all alternative scoreboards, though, aren't they? There's one that counts, and they're stubborn to move, but the Dockers are moving it. On the outer side, a quick kick, Sheridan. Leading in the race initially, McIntosh. Bounce past him, taken by Hooley. Not his best effort, hangs a long time in the air, testing the steal there at Taberner. Dropped the mark, going in was Lockie Neal. Off the ground by Miles, down towards the pocket. And that will do the Tigers. Raw nerves for Tiger fans.
Bad luck then for Taberner, but he's been pretty good actually going back.
Yep.
Not a familiar role for him. And certainly Fremantle have another option there in Taberner. The ball isn't at their end. Griffiths up in front. Ran it down to Miles. That was clever. McIntosh. Martin. Now Deledio. Just kicks it around the body. Very clever kick and Cochin marks. Not impossible to kick from there. 21 points to give them a little bit of breathing space.
Oh, this is a big kick. Big kick from the skipper. Talk about a captain's goal, Doug. If he can nail this just takes away that little bit of momentum, the wind in the sails of the Dockers. He's a star. Let's see if he can do it.
He's a great player. This is the one area that I think hasn't been great at over his career.
38 minutes since Richmond's last goal. If you wanted an opportunity at a captain's goal, there it was. A behind. Fremantle still alive. 22 points, 12:42 to play.
Duffield to the outer side. Listed forward by Martin, taken by Hooley. Inside the 50, almost a good grab to Taberner, missed it. Morris, willing worker down there. Getting up from his knees, Hill sends a high ball inside the centre square. Nobody touched it initially. Runs free at the back, taken by Rance, and Rance finds a man meters in the clear. That's Martin about 60 metres from goal. It's a powerful kick, but one would imagine he will try and set it up to the top of the square, or will he go for home?
I reckon he might go for home, Dad.
Well, he can kick it a long way.
Well, not exactly a captain's goal, but it's a leader's goal. He's been huge tonight. If he goes back and nails it, be big.
You don't want to leave it a metre short, because then it goes through behind. Fremantle get the ball back.
We've got a category for every goal. There goes Martin. It's a long one. And they can force it behind here. Fremantle. Dangerous ball. Edwards. Johnny on the spot. All the Dockers committed to the pack. Everyone with the same idea. Let's force it behind. And on the ground, Edwards just turned up like a flash.
Oh, dear.
Had a good second half.
The best defensive team in the competition, Dan. And not quite a fundamental error, but an error. Ross Lyon prides himself on team defence. There was no one there to mop up.
I think it was a dysfunctional error.
Well, this is the one where you just, as a Fremantle defender, you just have to kill the ball. And no one at all on the goal line. Look at the space he found. Very clever goal.
5 men up, Duck.
5 men up, not one able to get good purchase.
Turned out Duck a metre short was perfect. So what have they got left, Fremantle? They've been gallant in this second half. Again, the ball kicked forward by Cochin. Martin, he got it across to. Hard one to win. And up it comes again. They all catch a breather. Clark, Griffiths, Mundy lifted in this final term, did well across to Lockie Neal. He was hurried when he kicked. Now it's going to stay in, I think. Gee, that was an interesting kick. It might have drifted out momentarily or right on top of the line and then back in and over. 28 points in front of over 38,000 tonight. Perfect night for footy, and they've got a great game.
Clark with the leap. Subban taken front on by Miles. Quick whistle. 28 points the margin. Tigers with some breathing space here. Greg at the base of that pack.
Trent Cotchin now taking Nat Fyfe at every stoppage, making sure he can't get those dangerous ones that he was getting in the third quarter and the start of this last.
Wide of the pack. Ellis pops it up a little too easily. Hill kicks down towards half forward. Sandler's launched himself. Bacon goal square. How will it bounce? Truly, as it turns out, it just runs on for a harmless behind from Walters. Clock stops. Still over 10 minutes remaining, but as we said at the start of this term, no margin for error for the Dockers. And they've only improved their position by 1 point.
Floston quick to go. He goes to the outer side. Deledio, Sutcliffe right there with him. Deledio's lost the football here. Pavlich did well. To Barlow. Quick kick inside 50. Main will watch it roll over the boundary line. Attacking position though for Fremantle. They're into the ground where they want it.
Watch for the small forwards on the move, flying through here. Ballantyne, Walters, maybe working together, looking to block for each other, just to release one of them. A lot of movement from Freo, you'd expect.
10.5 minutes to go. Richmond's lead 27 points. It's unlikely, but it's not impossible. Subin trying to find a way through. Lachie Neale had it, lost it. Miles in there. Hooley gathers. Quick snap towards defensive 50. McFarlane, revolt, over it goes.
Yeah, you're right, Liggy. There's got to be movement. You can't be stagnant. They've got to be running through that contest to make the Richmond players nervous. Maybe draw a free kick. Maybe find a little bit of space.
Marich and Clark right on the numbers initially. Ball's just in front. Martin crashes into that pack. Wheeling out at the other side was Fyfe. Hooley. Bouncing ball towards the wing. Stolen away from Taberner by Rewalt. He comes back towards the middle. McIntosh. Hooley continues his run. Has a bounce. Carries the ball to left centre wing and goes back to Rewalt. He's about 70 metres from goal. There's a man on inside the 50. And that's Menadue. He doesn't trust the youngster, and that's not a criticism. Decides it's no time for that. He sends a long ball in. They have been better advised to kick it to Menadue. Mark is taken by McFarlane against Vickery. They bring it out of defence. The kick goes towards the outer side. That was Sheridan. And the mark is taken out there by Mundy.
That's what he's got in front of him. He just pops it over the top for Lachie Neale. Main's the next man on. Good mark in front of Chaplin. So no time to waste at all now for the Fremantle Dockers. Less than 10 minutes remaining, and Richmond have done well here. They've just held them up for the time being.
Next try. Yep.
Clark.
Two back now. Edwards.
Backward of the wing when he kicked. Fyfe the fly, had 3 to beat. 2 in the air, 1 on the ground. Hooley mopping up. Short to Marich. And Richmond look like they've got their strategy just about spot on here.
They contained Freo well there, didn't let them move it quick because they had the 2 players getting behind the ball. It was Shane Edwards and it was Basher Hooley, just happy to sag off and be those loose players.
Here's Miles.
Yours, mate.
Goes down the line. Edwards, good second half.
Hold there, Tommy.
Again, similar kick to the one that found him, Deledio.
This is good mature play, this. Just holding onto the footy, burn a minute or so off the clock, make it harder for Freo.
Deledio takes something off the kick. That's a poor one. Neale, the short man, camped in front of the pack. Initially, I'm sure, thinking about a crumb, takes the mark. So Neale taking plenty of time. Not really opportune there. Kicks it towards the wing. Sandlands, great grab. Plays on. Mundy, surrounded by Tigers. Back to Sandilands. Does okay. Well done, big fella. Gives it across to Hill. Hill goes down towards half forward. Awkward bouncing footy. Staying on his feet brilliantly. Fyfe gets it across to Crozier. Crozier the high ball. Ballantyne outnumbered. He was looking for a free kick. Walters snaps a goal. He's got 3. Something out of nothing. Well, Walters got to the contest. He ran hard. Not sure what he's done there. Stretching a groin, is he?
Well, just exhausted, perhaps. Then he's kicked 3 of their last 4, by the way. Maybe the groin.
Could be.
Just so strong through the body there, Fife. Not sure it was a handball, but got the ball forward. He's been very good in the second half, hasn't he? Yep. He's been the one live wire in their forward line.
Stretching his groin after that goal. He's kicked 3 of their last 4, but did look to be a little sore around the groin region. Fremantle 21 points down. It's not quite over yet. Ballantyne did brilliantly to Mundy. Walters went to ground. Floston with him there. Barlow out of the pack. Sends it down towards full forward. Chaplin racing back with the football. Main closing him down. He steps it over the line. 20 points is the margin now.
Smart play there by Chaplin. He's sometimes worried that a defensive player thinks he can't rush it, but under all that pressure, it's the best thing to do.
Hooley out of defence. Hill over the top, sent away on his left side, kicks it back inside the forward 50. Hooley came at it again under real pressure. Grimes couldn't control it. Pearce grabs it across the face of goal. Chaplin goes back with him. Ballantyne, and the ball runs out of bounds and stops the clock. 20 points the margin. The official attendance tonight, and this place is still rocking. There is time, no question about that. Deep in the Dockers forward line, a goal here, and this place will go crazy on Friday Night Football. Norwich is in front. Clark trying to expose the back of the pack. Chaplin, was he taken high? But he wins a timely free kick. His back virtually against the goalposts as he'll bring this one out.
That's the advantage Richmond have. He's playing on Sandilands twice now, just recovered a little bit quicker, a little bit more agility than Sandilands.
McIntosh, bad drop, but Martin there to help out. Taberner did well. It's Richmond's free kick against Taberner, the man in front. Well, that's a huge whistle. Griffiths with the free. Martin, Revolt, Richmond playing the percentages here, making the most of every possession, making sure the clock ticks down its maximum. Revolt down the line. That's a clever kick, and well done, well presented by Cochin.
They've done this well all night, haven't they? Just controlled the footy. Last kick in goes long.
So it's called to go now. They really need a steal, Fremantle, but it might be a steal for this man. Marriage onto the chest, presenting. A bit lucky there was the space to move into it. He's marked it, and he can put the result just about beyond doubt.
They've used that ball inside 50 really clever tonight, right from the start of the game. Just able to pull kicks into that space. That was a really clever kick there. Saw that Marriage had that space in front of him, just dropped the ball. It basically just fell onto it.
Forced him to lead onto it.
Yep.
Played every game this year. He's kicked just 2 goals. This one drifts across the face and won't register a score. It stays in though. Fremantle really needed the mark or the ball across the line, and they got neither. The goal line, that is.
Exhilarating football early from the Tigers. And now the Dockers still coming. They've run out of steam just for the moment, and maybe ideas too. Barlow throws a boot at it. Ellis wrapped up. One thing you can say about the Dockers is, much like Sharapova, they haven't gone quietly into the night. They really dug deep. At halftime, everything seemed lost. There's Mundy. Does okay. Switches it back towards the outer side. Oh, big leap again from Fife. Spills. Wonderful stuff there. But a man diving under that pack. I think it was Cochin. No, it's Delidio. He gets up for the Tigers. And the clock is down to 4.5 minutes.
Sandilands again, so dominant. Neal, Rance, they hold him up. So right now 20 points with 4.5 to play. It looks just a little bit too much, but a very quick goal, and it looks so different. Must get one within about 30 seconds, you reckon, for Fremantle. They've got to get it down the other end and score quickly. And they need a major, and umpire Rosebery in to toss it up again.
Richmond very happy with this, just chewing up valuable seconds. Just happy to get stoppage after stoppage. Burn the clock.
Barlow Back of the fist in Fife's direction. Mundy works it across to Neil. So here they come. Forward it is. Walters the man. Walters flies. Well done, Morris at the back. He brought the ball to ground. Handball up the line from Batchelor. Brilliant. Cochin. Chip kick over the top. Free kick. Mark anyway to Edwards.
Made a free. And Edwards just inquiring whether the ball goes back. But the bump, I think, in the back occurred after the kick. So Edwards has got the footy. Under 4 minutes. And looking more likely that the Tigers will register their 4th straight victory. So much made of 10 straight for the Dockers. Well, the Tigers are working on their own string. Here's Chaplin, Lostone, and Hunt running down the clock. Hunt's at right half back. You feel the moment has passed now for the Dockers. Sandilands bustling towards the front of that pack. Edwards again. He's been very important. Kicks it down towards half forward. Awkward bouncing ball over the head of Neil, taken by Deledio, and this is it. Vickery is directly in front. He needs to go back and end this once and for all.
Well, coming into this game, they knew what they'd get out of Jack Riewoldt. He's been playing really well the last month, but they needed Griffiths and Vickery to stand up tonight and contribute on the scoreboard, and they have. And that's been one of the reasons they've been able to, potentially, they should win this game now, or they have won it now.
Bad luck for Lachie Neale. It was a fickle bounce. He was in front. Vickery, the beneficiary of all of that. In he comes. And that, my friends, is the clincher. Vickery gets another goal. And the Tigers a memorable night.
Well, terrific, isn't it? Great celebrations. And this is a massive win out of Melbourne. 4 in a row. 9 in a row to finish last year. Of course, their last win against the team who were on top of the table was round 23 last year against the Sydney Swans to clinch a spot in the 8. And they've done it again. They are going to beat the team on top of the ladder.
Well, there's a celebration from Tyrone Vickery, and Richo summed it up before he kicked that goal. I think he's been really good tonight. I have been critical of him at times, but he's presented well, he's competed, and just like Jack Riewoldt, they've been a good combination.
It's going to be 4 in a row for the Tigers, their 6th win of the season. Not quite entrenched inside the 8, but another cog further in, and hasn't he been terrific? Martin, 34 disposals now. Marriage, clever, out to Riewoldt. Was it touched? If it hasn't been, it's a defining moment of tonight, but it was touched.
Jack's still celebrating.
Wait, score review, okay? Score review. Umpire's call is touch up the boot. We just want to see if it went through for a goal.
It's a long way out.
Thank you. Just wait, Nick. Okay. It's behind. Yeah. But we just want to check in case, because we can't review it, you know what I mean, if it goes.
Review complete. Confirmed touched.
Well done by the goal umpire.
The instant player reaction meter told us that it probably was touched.
Oh, can't always rely on that. Marriage over the top. Main, though. Clancy Pierce. Main. Hill. Oh, he was ambushed. Ellis got it from Hunter. Gets it back, and he's run down. Ballantyne arriving quickly, but I think it'll be a free kick. And 50 against the Tigers. Ballantyne really scooting. Ferocious tackle again. First half was very good. He's drifted out of the game, and the slack was taken up by Walters. Had they worked in tandem, who knows? Ballantyne, 60 metres out, goes down towards the pocket, ill-directed. Morris, he's been fearless. He thumps it towards the boundary, but it gently rolls out.
He's only had the 10 touches, Steve Morris, but his influence on tonight's game has been big. Really brave, throwing his body in. He played up forward as a pressure forward. He's gone back when Walters started getting going. Really good team role.
Edwards has been terrific. McIntosh has tried hard. Ibbotson back to McFarlane. So Fremantle's unbeaten run will end at 9 to equal the club record. It will stay equal with what they managed to achieve in 2006. And their 2-game buffer on top of the table. Sydney play the Gold Coast, West Coast play North Melbourne. A win by either of those teams, and that 2-game buffer on top becomes 1.
Clark missed it. Rolls out the back of the pack to Padlich. On his wrong side is Hill. And that shows. Didn't get it sweetly. Knocked across the boundary line by Gloucester, and boundary throw in.
This is
inside the last minute.
This is a win now to Richmond at Domain Stadium, Fremantle in Perth, and they've knocked off Port Adelaide in Adelaide. We start believing, Duck, that Richmond are the real deal this year. This is a huge win.
Well, they're believing, aren't they?
Yep.
The players are, and they're the most important people. They're the ones that have got to believe.
And the
They
coach,
are.
and the coach, Damien Hardwick, said they were good enough. He said it a few times, but he firmly believes it. And tonight, they've given him reason to believe even more. The ball is out of bounds. We'll have a throw in.
They've been 4 really mature wins in different ways, real quality wins. You know, had to grind a couple out, had to travel twice, and they've just lit it up in that first quarter tonight. And that was some of the best football I've seen all season. Great to watch.
So the last time here against Fremantle, round 5 2013, it was Fremantle by a point. They've won their next 2, both of those against West Coast. So this will be 3 in a row for the Tigers on the road at Domain Stadium, and that tells you something about this emerging group.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the toughest places in football to win when the home teams are up and going, and Fremantle could not have been more up and or going. A great win for Richmond, their 6th of the season, and they get home by 27 points. Maybe a win that starts something big in 2015.